What is up, everyone? Jay here with another Fire Emblem Heroes video, and today we're going to take a look at the next seasonal banner, which is a new theme, and this time it is a tournament kind of gladiator theme where everybody's going to participate in a big fight, I suppose. And I believe this is based on Regna Ferox, a notable location in Fire Emblem Awakening. As you can see, Mask Marth is kind of wearing something Basilia would wear, and Mask Marth, quote unquote Marth here, is a lance infantry, and it makes me a little bit sad because we could have had a lot of chances for a blue actual Marth. As someone who uses Marth emblem and has every Marth at plus 10, it would have been cool to have a blue one. But it's okay. Dual Marth is amazing, of course. But here is Mask Marth. So Disguised Lance is the weapon -1 cooldown. If rally or movement assist is used by unit or target's unit, inflicts sabotage, speed defense -7, and panic to closest foes to both unit and target ally, and targeting ally after movement and foes within 2 spaces of those foes to this next action. Basically, the range is gigantic. At the start of combat, if unit is alive, grants bonus to all of her stats equal to the number of allies within 3 rows 3 columns centered on unit times 3 plus 5, maximum 14. We've seen that before. Unit deals plus X times 5 damage, excluding AoEs, and reduces damage from the foe's attacks by X times 3, and reduces damage from foe's specials by an additional X times 3 during combat. X equals the number of bonus effects active on unit and foe, excluding stat bonuses, maximum 5. And also, if Future Witness is active on unit and the unit is faster than the foe's speed, then you have the Brave effect. So this weapon is no joke. You have the Sabotage Panic support, you have the flat damage reduction and flat damage output as any modern tank would have, and then you also have a Brave hit if you're faster. So that's not going to be too hard for her. And then Future Gaze is going to have the swap, of course. Lucina's had this for a long time. Her rearm version has this. Her legendary has this. And of course, her father also does the assist shenanigans. So unit and target swap spaces, target ally swap spaces, and then grants future witness, dodge, and foe penalty doubler to allies within 2 spaces of unit, or both unit and target after unit. I can't read. After movement for 1 turn, including unit and target, grants special cooldown count -1 to unit and those allies, and grants another action to unit. So you grant. What does future witness even do? I don't remember exactly what it does. Is it just another movement? I don't even know. It doesn't explain here, but I don't remember. But yeah, dodge is nice. I mean, dodge is pierceable damage reduction, but it still can be useful. Foe penalty doubler is cool, and then also -1 cooldown, which is not the special jump. I think it's just straight up -1 cooldown. Then gust is her special. So with this assist, you're gonna have that at 2 after you use the assist, right? So Gust we've seen before. Perfect attack speed for that, no follow-up. And then we have a new B skill, attack speed favor. So is this like a new ruse skill? Kind of looks like a ruse icon back when those skills were relevant. If rally or movement assist skills used by unit, targets unit, grants attack speed +6, empathy, and reduces, so you have the damage reduction piercing during combat to unit and targets ally or unit and targeting ally for 1 turn, and grants -1 cooldown to unit and target ally or unit and targeting ally once per turn. So this is nice. Empathy is always great for more stats. Damage reduction, piercing / halving is great, so you don't really need to run stuff like physical no follow-up or even no quarter or whatever, because you can outsource it. And then allies with the empathy status also deal +7 true damage, so that's nice because true damage is very necessary nowadays in the meta. And then inflicts -4 on everything except for attack, and deals the unit deals +X times or +7 damage during combat. X equals the highest total attack speed bonuses among unit allies with empathy active. Okay. So the allies that can have empathy, you can have a lot of units with empathy, I suppose. So this skill is very potent, no pun intended. That's going to be a pretty nice, supportive skill that can also make you pretty strong. And with Mass Marth here, you have all the incentive to trigger that because you have your future shenanigans with your assist. And yeah, Marth's going to be annoying for sure. I mean, we just had tea time Felix, who's very annoying, and Lucina or Mass Marth is going to be a little bit unique in her role. So that is her kit, no C skill. And then next we move on to her father, Crom, Pivotal Bow. Crom and Lucina. I mean, I know people are tired of seeing Crom and Lucina. They have tons of ults, but if it's a Regna Ferox banner, it makes sense for them to be on here. I mean, I would love to see Long Q, to be honest. Long Q, being Basilia's champion and all, would have been really cool. But this is a new Crom that is a colorless bow infantry, it looks like. And he, of course, has Conquering Fates. I think he's infantry, right? Let's look. Did I miss? Yeah, he's infantry. Okay. So, have we had a colorless Crom? I don't know. There's so many Crom alts. I don't remember. But this Crom is pretty mid max. He has super low res with high defense, decent speed, of course, super high attack. And here he is taking out Legendary Black Knight. That is no, small feat. So Gladiator's Bow -1 cooldown. If rally or movement assist is used by unit or targets, use it. So more of this stuff, just being strong and getting tons of stuff if you move with your assist. So inflicts attack, defense -7, exposure, discord, and a penalty. Oh wow! So he has fatal smoke built in. So neutralizes those. And then we already read that part. I want to repeat it again. If unit initiates combat or units within 2 spaces of an ally, grants bonus to all of its stats plus X. X equals the number of bonus effects active and penalty effects active on unit times 2, excluding stat bonuses and stat penalties, plus 10% of unit's defense in start combat, plus 5. Neutralizes foes' bonuses to attack defense. So you have basically low attack defense. Unit deals plus Y times 5 damage during combat. Y equals the number of bonus effects active on unit and foe, excluding stat bonuses. And also, if unit initiates combat, unit can make a follow-up attack before foe's next attack. So you have like a desperation effect there. So pretty nice weapon. And then you have Conquering Fate as its assist. So this is Repo. Lucina has Swap. Crom has Repo. Grants another action to himself, inflicts isolation on himself, and grants Change of Fate to unit and target ally for 1 turn, and grants the -1 cooldown count -1. So just like Lucina, he does that as well. And then this is going to grant any bonus active on unit to target ally, any active on target ally to unit once per turn. Granted, bonuses exclude stat bonuses inverted by panic. Wow, we've never had that explained before. Change of Fate is going to give you Canto 2 and plus 5 to your stats, and true damage equal to 3 times the number of bonus and penalty effects active on unit, excluding stat bonuses and stat penalties during combat, maximum 15. Wow, so Change of Fate is pretty good. It gives you the flat damage output, more stats, depending on the bonus and penalty effects active on Karam. So for Crom, that's not too big of a deal. I mean, there's a lot of penalties to have and lots of things that he gives out. Blazing Wind, Slice 30 Blow, because he is going to be very bulky defensively on his defense, and then have tons of attack. This is going to give him true damage and a guaranteed follow-up attack. And then the attack defense version of the Favor skill, which we just read on Mass Marth. And then he comes with a new Times Pulse skill, but this one's for defense. So we had Times Pulse Helm, which is for res, and we had Times Pulse Edge, which is for speed. So this is the same thing, except it just does it for attack and defense. So Crom, gonna be a huge problem for sure. I mean, this is almost like the second coming of Legendary Crom, back when Legendary Crom was the meta, except this one is colorless and hits way harder and can inflict tons of statuses on you. So that is Crom. And then next we have Chulane, Leading Gladiator. Pretty cool to see him on here. Nice to see a Yogdraw character, in these seasonals. So he's an Axe Infantry, and his art is nice. So he is going to be, as you can see, he's going to be the demote, of course. But he's a pretty good demote. He comes with attack, speed, spiked wall, which is nice to have. If you're trying to get, actually, wait, never mind. This is not Bulwark. This is just straight up the spike wall skill. So this is a tier 4 skill. That's amazing. And Times Pulse 3 is nice if you want to get Times Pulse Edge or even the Times Pulse Arms that Crom has. So Regna Axe Plus is his weapon. This is inheritable at the start of turn. And after unit axe, if Canto triggers, after Canto, inflicts speed defense -7, speed shackle and defense shackle. This is cool because we just had these skills, the shackle skill released on Brave Sharina, and she had the res version and the speed version. So this one provides defense. So that's pretty cool. You can just debuff them on closest foes and foes within 2 spaces of those foes through their next actions. If unit initiates combat within 2 spaces of an ally, grants bonus to all of its stats, deals true damage, 20% of unit speed, excluding AoEs, and also reduces damage from the foe's first attack by 20% of unit speed during combat, including the brave hits. And then it explains defense shackle because it hasn't been explained before. So same thing goes for speed and res. It fixed penalty on units defense during combat equals to the number of penalty active on unit plus 4, excluding stat penalties, max of 8. Luna is a special, and then we already went over his passives. So this weapon is pretty nice. I mean, you have flat damage reduction, stat support with the shackle. You also have, good damage output because you have true damage on your speed. So this axe is kind of something I want to pull for. Maybe I give this to like Legion or something, because while it's not as good, I'd say, as Arcane Giant Axe, if your unit's faster, has more speed than attack, and there's a lot of X inventories that are older, or X units that are older that don't really have the highest attack stat, this could be pretty cool. I kind of want to give this to Groom Marth maybe too, because I don't really have any arcane giant axe fodder right now. Um, but I already gave him that axe, so I don't know. But that's a pretty cool weapon to have as a seasonal demote. It's not going to be the regular pool or anything, but Tulane does come with a formidable weapon and a nice demoted skill set, so pretty cool to see him. And then we have the last but not least, the harmonic hero Fur, however you say, I think it's Fear. Fear and her mama, Carla. So Carla Dev is real. You know, Carla Dev got a lot of alts in this game, but Carla is not the lead this time. You know, she's letting her daughter shine, so that's pretty nice and wholesome. So it's cool to see. I always like it whenever there's a harmonic or a duo of parents, because that's always wholesome, especially considering many parents have a tragic end, and Carla is no exception. So Princess's Edge is the weapon, and they are a sword infantry. It looks like. Okay, so they're actually not sword infantry. Thank goodness. They are a sword cavalry unit, which is pretty cool. Glad they're not sword infantry again. So, like I said, Princess's Edge is the weapon, and they come with a new Gale Force special. So this gives -1 cooldown, and then a further -2 cooldown at start of turn to yourself or to them. So basically, Gale Force Miss is going to be pretty easy. It's going to be at what? 2 cooldown. And at start of turn, after unit acts, if Kanto triggers, after Kanto inflicts speed defense -7, discord, speed shackle, and defense shackle on the closest foes. So yeah, this is just better than Tulane's weapon, obviously, with also discord support. And then if unit nations combaters within 2 space of an ally grants a bonus to all of their stats equal to the number of allies. We've seen this before tons of times. Unit deals plus X times 3 damage, and then X equals the number of bonus effects and penalty effects active on target and foes within 2 spaces of target, excluding stat bonuses and stat penalties, and then also reduces damage from foes' attacks by 20% of your speed. So that, of course, is going to be flat damage reduction. You have no follow-up and special charge +1 per attack, which is going to make Gale Force Mist even easier to trigger. So let's take a look at this special. So, of course, when you initiate combat and when your special triggers, you can move again, as Gale Force does. But furthermore, you also get some damage reduction from the foe's attacks by 40%. Honestly, I thought this would be more insane. I thought it would do some damage, but it doesn't. I guess that's that's one way to balance it, obviously. But still, I thought this would have more. I mean, obviously, Fear and Carla here have enough damage. Their weapon's going to do enough. But Gale Force Miss, I thought, would have more to it. I don't know. I guess specials nowadays are just pretty broken, so I thought there would be an extra line here or something. Maybe this is inheritable, to be honest. I feel like it's kind of tame. Maybe it is inheritable. We'll see. But Gale Force Mist is the new special. Because I mean, you can move again, you're pretty much getting another damage, honestly. But I thought this would have some kind of speed based damage like Gust on it or something. Blue Skies 4, amazing skill for many units like this. Potent Assault and Attack Speed Outcry Dull. This is pretty much the same kit almost as Tea Time Ingrid, who also has Potent Assault and the Outcry Dull skill, which is pretty cool. So yeah, Potent Assault is just the best skill for offensive cavalry units like this. Pretty much if you're fast, especially if you're slower, then you can use momentum and stuff, but Potent Assault is the wave nowadays. Any of the potent skills, Potent Finish too, of course. So that is Fear and her mama. Pretty cool. Like to see that, some mother daughter bonding time, because they didn't really get to have much of that time, unfortunately. Harmonized skill, this is going to give, of course, Resonant Blades to unit and allies from the same titles, so FE6 and FE7 units, and grant special cooldown count -2 to them. And that's pretty much it. Okay. Which obviously is still very powerful. You can help them trigger the specials, help you win the fight. So there it is. She's going to proc that and give Bartray and the fam, Noah. I like Noah, how Noah's there. And of course, Karel. Karel needs to get like an ascended version, man. Or something. Karel deserves an ult, bro. So here he is taking out, or here she is taking out Desert Ike. No problem. He just falls in one hit. And even if he didn't, he would just die immediately to the next hit. So that is Regna Ferox. I guess you would call them Feroxy. I don't know what you would call them. But Regna Ferox kind of tournament banner. So it's an interesting choice, I guess. It's kind of cool. I'm glad they mixed it up, because we had like pirates before and stuff, and the tribe banners, right? So this one's a little bit different. And again, I know people are going to be mad about Lucina and Karam showing up, but it's Regna Ferox, so it makes a lot of sense, So yeah, that is the banner. And then of course they're going to show this on the Nintendo app and stuff. You can get music. So that's the stuff they're going to show now at the end of these trailers, I suppose. Don't Speak Your Name, one of the best Awakening songs. That song is so good. Definitely check that out. So yeah, that is the banner, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm probably going to skip. Like I said, the axe is kind of tempting, honestly, though. That's a good inheritable hex for sure. Like, definitely an alternative to Arcane Giant Axe. So that is a really cool option. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Listen to me ramble as usual. Please stay safe out there. Peace out. Also, my bad, I forgot to mention, how could I forget? Ogma is the Tempest Trial unit, so that is pretty awesome. Pogma for free. I'm glad I don't have to summon for him. So he's going to be a Grail unit and a Sword Infantry, most likely, unfortunately. So he's going to be facing a lot of competition, but I'm still probably going to build him anyway, even though his sword is going to be amazing, because it's probably going to be the same as Tulane's if I had to guess, or, pretty similar. So, yeah, but still, Ogma being free is pretty awesome, and his art is already out. So if you want to see that, I actually just post a picture of it here. But yeah, Ogma as a free unit, that's pretty awesome. I kind of wish he was on the banner, but at the same time, I can save my orbs. So yeah, cool to see more Arcanaid characters getting more love. As this year is the 35th anniversary. Of course, we had Resplendent Naga recently, and of course, Resplendent Legendary Mars, which is glorious. So Ogma getting a cool alt that definitely fits him is pretty awesome.